I am now joined here on the broadcast with percussionist Dustin Donahue. Dustin's played all over LA, Wasteland, LA Percussion Quartet. He's played with Ice, Jacaranda, you name it. What else? Some Monday evening concerts.
Indeed.
You've studied at UCSD with the 2015 Ojai music director Steve Schick, and this year you are a member of the Ojai Festival Orchestra. Welcome to the Ojai live stream.
Thanks so much for having me.
How does it feel to be back here in Ojai making live music again?
Yeah, it's an incredible feeling. I've been coming to Ojai now on and off for 10 years, and it really does feel like a summer home. It's such a welcoming place, such a fabulous place to spend the summer. And I just can't think of a better place to be in one of the first concerts I'm playing now in 18 months. It's just such a wonderful place. It feels like family.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about Ojai, which you experience here, is that the patrons, the audience members, the artists, the broadcasters, we're all here together in a community, and you get to interact with the audience, and just behind that camera is the audience right now, and it's a family.
Absolutely.
So you've been coming here for 10 years plus, you've been on the stage for on and off. I'm wondering what would be a favorite year you came where you weren't playing?
Yeah, I loved the festival in 2017 where Vijay Iyer was artistic director.
It's a great year.
Seeing his works, some of the multimedia productions here, it was a huge event, really ambitious, and just a really inspiring event to see.
I know for myself, I learned so much that year. I learned about artists and composers that I'd never heard of, and now I am big fans of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is kind of the fun of the Ojai Music Festival. Just discovery really is the heart of this festival.
Right, they're always expanding our horizons.
Right. So this year, you're a member of the Ojai Festival Orchestra, which is the first iteration of this. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I have to applaud Ojai and John Adams. This is a group made up mostly of sort of local LA freelancers of a younger generation, I would say, relatively young. So that's really a fabulous thing. These freelancing artists who have really been put out, right? It's been a difficult year for the last 18 months. To come back to such a welcoming environment, such an exciting environment, and such an ambitious program as well. It's a really thrilling thing.
Yeah, it's really cool because, you know, as you've seen for this festival, they have imported a lot of players over the years, like Ice, and 2 years ago, Ludwig. And this year, one of the themes is homecoming.
Yeah.
Not just homecoming and coming back together again to play music, but bring LA musicians, LA artists, not just the Ojai Festival Orchestra, but LACO, LA Chamber Orchestra, and the LA Phil New Music Group.
Exactly.
So making it more of a local production, so to speak.
It's a beautiful thing.
So the first Ojai Festival Orchestra concert is tonight.
Indeed.
Can you talk about some of the pieces being played on that concert?
Absolutely. Probably the biggest piece that we were undertaking tonight is the Samuel Adams Chamber Concerto, featuring Miranda Cookson as a violin soloist. A really ambitious multi-movement work with, as you'll see, an enormous percussion setup that we're managing back there, myself and the incredible Sydney Hobson. It's a really beautiful work, extremely colorful. It's one of these pieces that percussionists live for, where you're managing just a huge array of sounds. Sydney and I working together to find exactly, the right sizzle on the cymbal. It's that kind of thing that I really, really enjoy working through.
Sorry, that's the first bell. I'm wondering about this percussion. I mean, I've seen you back there with a just battery of instruments.
Yes.
How did they get here? Where are they kept?
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I'm always so impressed when I come to Ojai with just the ability of the production staff, the planning. There's just a huge team here that makes that work. These instruments are coming from some friends that run the LA Percussion Rentals business down in Los Angeles, a long relationship with the festival. And some homemade things as well. I've been experimenting with, sandpaper sounds that we're coordinating for that Sam Adams concerto.
Cool.
So it's always a mix of some homemade things and some
Getting
very
to the
fine
workshop.
instruments. Exactly.
I just think it was so cool. Yesterday, I came here for one of the early rehearsals, and you were on stage with Sydney, and the stage was just littered with boxes and cases and instruments everywhere.
Yes, we are always the first to arrive and the last to leave in the percussion section, along with the production crew. And that's part of our job, really.
Tonight you're also playing Esa-Pekka Salonen's Fog, is that correct?
Exactly.
Tell us about this piece.
Yeah, it's a lovely piece. It composed for the 90th birthday of Frank Gehry, and it's based on the prelude from the E major Bach violin partita, which will also be played tonight. And it's an amazing experience learning this part, because as a percussionist, we often learn lots of these Bach violin pieces. So I know that piece very well. I've known it for many, many years, but now Esa-Pekka Salonen has us relearning all of the familiar phrases in whole tone scales and octatonic scales. So you really start to see something that's very familiar in a new way, which is a lovely thing about that piece.
So cool. And for those of you at home, why you have to be here is I just saw Frank Gehry in the audience walking around. So you got to be here to see him in the audience.
Indeed, indeed.
And then you're also playing on the Ingram Marshall Piano Concerto.
Exactly, yeah. And this features Timo Andres as a soloist. And Sydney and I, in the percussion section, for long stretches of the piece, accompanying in kind of a gamelan-like texture with the piano soloist. So that is a big part for us in the back as well. And it's a lovely thing, too, to see not only Timo as a soloist on that piece, but then his composition, running theme, being played following that. So it's always nice to see multiple sides of a performer, multiple sides of an artist that way.
Right, and I love how the festival programming, what they always do is they take you on a direct path of journey. We get the Bach partita played into the Fog, then we get Timo as a soloist into Timo's own piece.
Yeah.
So cool, and you could follow that, you know, as a listener.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about, because I know that you guys come together for these rehearsals in a very crazy, jam-packed week of work.
Indeed, yeah.
Can you walk us through the rehearsal process of putting together a concert with a brand new orchestra?
Right, it is always such a challenging thing to, not only have we not played concerts together in 18 months, but a lot of these people we're meeting for the first time. Requires a lot of intense preparation behind the scenes, getting to know the score, being prepared for any unexpected decision that might take place. So practicing, you know, always trying things in different ways, experimenting, so that you're prepared for anything. But yeah, it's a very intense process here. It always is at Ojai. We started rehearsing Wednesday night. Of course, somewhere else, not at the Libbey Bowl. They have us all over the town here in Ojai. For a long evening of rehearsal there on Wednesday, a little bit yesterday afternoon, and then we'll have our dress tonight. So it's a very rapid-fire process, for sure.
Pros only.
I suppose so.
So you studied at UCSD with Steve Schick, who was the 2015 festival music director, and he's been here at Ojai many, many years, on that stage many, many years, fan favorite. He was just on my podcast that came out last week. Go download that. He's an amazing person. Can you talk about playing here in 2015 with Steve?
Yeah, that was a really, really inspiring year for me. It's rare, you know, it's so often you see pianists and violinists as kind of artistic directors, music directors. Seeing finally the chance to see a percussionist take over that, the festival took on a totally different kind of identity.
It was so cool.
And what I loved about what Steve did that year is he really put an emphasis on the sort of birth of modern percussion. So we played that year so many of the very first percussion works, music by Edgar Varese, Carlos Chavez. It was just stuff from the 1930s that it's kind of, as a percussionist, part of our history books, but to put that on in front of such a large audience and a very excited audience was really an amazing opportunity.
It was one of the coolest years, I thought. And I mean, I'm a huge fan of Steve Schick, and I love percussion music. It was just a great year.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on the live stream, and we look forward to seeing you on that stage tonight at 8 p.m. with the Ojai Festival Orchestra.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes.